Hey everyone, so today is the 25,000 subscriber giveaway, but we're also doing an AMA. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. I was not prepared for how many questions I got, but it's gonna be good. Probably gonna be a longer video, but that's all good. Speaking of giveaway though, before we get into the questions, for anyone that was affected by the evil, horrendous, obnoxious scammers that absolutely just plagued that giveaway video, I am terribly sorry. I seriously probably had, let's see, I probably blocked over 30 accounts. I probably deleted a total of like 200 or 300 comments. And yeah, there was just, it was an ongoing battle. Every time I deleted one, there was two new ones popping up, and it's just so frustrating. And I know I am not the only channel that has been getting harangued by this new bot. I know that my friend Wild Kyle and actually just many others have been also dealing with this. So for all of you viewers, if you see a giveaway and you get responded to it in a comment, that's probably a scam. I don't know anyone on YouTube that does giveaways that way, so just be cautious. Like for example, I will never ever have a pool of like supposed shortlisters. That's just not how it works. I pick every giveaway winner via random comment picker, and I won't say who won until a video like this where I'm actually announcing the winner. So if you're seeing comments like that, it is certainly not me. And of course, it decided to strike when Derek and myself were up in the mountains for 2 days out of cell reception, so I couldn't get on top of it as fast as I normally would have been able to, but yeah. Anyway though, back to this video. I'm gonna show you what you'll be winning. One of you will be winning later. We're not gonna do that right now. It's exciting though, I'll leave it at that. First, we're gonna start getting into all these questions because there are a lot and I don't wanna take up any more time. Nikki Who asks, if you had to pick one, what is your favorite find so far? Oh my gosh, that's a hard question. Honestly, I don't know if I have a one favorite. One sec. Yeah, I don't think I have a one favorite. I have a group of favorites, plural. So like for Florida, for example, these are my favorites that I've ever found in Florida, like this clam. And then these two right here with all the whelks, calcite crystal filled whelks. And then this one right here, which was just such a joy to prep. Just amazing. Came out so well, and yeah, there's just crystals for days up in there. So these would probably be in my, like top 5 or top 10. When it comes to the Yellowstone, this is my favorite. It's my biggest Montana agate so far. It's like the size of my head. So it's probably my favorite agate find so far. And then when it comes to fossils, this monster ammonite that I'm still repairing, probably my favorite for size reference. Here's my foot. That is a ginormous ammonite, and it's gonna be amazing. Next question is from Jackie Saya? I'm sorry, I actually don't know how to pronounce your last name. I'm gonna say this up front. I'm sorry if I mispronounce any names throughout this. Just leave a comment with correct pronunciation so I don't do this again next time. Anyway though, I would like to know more about your history of finding your creative side and love for rocks. So love of rocks I've had since a young age because me and my dad and sister would go up to the Pryor Mountains and hunt for these, which are devil's toenails, griffia, oysters. And yeah, so that was like, I don't know, like 5 or 6. So the love of fossils started young. I always wanted to be a paleontologist. Rocks came later, actually. Kind of got out of rocks during high school and stuff like that. And after high school, Alexis and I were in the Black Hills. We saw one of those little, like screen your own gem bag things at Reptile Gardens. So she convinced me to get one. Just this rabbit hole of looking up stuff so that I could identify all the rocks. And after doing lots of research, realized that like 90% of the stuff in that thing can be found in Montana. So yeah, it kind of just started this whole snowball effect of wanting to get more into it as much as I could. Creative side, on the other hand, that's just something I've always been into. I've always been a drawer and a painter. Carving came later. Trying to remember exactly when, but yeah, later. Long before I started carving, my 3 major hobbies were painting, photography, and just, any other art I could get my hands on, like drawing and stuff like that, but mostly photography and painting. This, for example, is a painting I did. Tasha Cano or Kano? Anyway, I'm curious about why the Etsy shop doesn't seem to get updated often. It does and it doesn't. it does small scale, but stuff sells so dang fast that I can't, like, it just looks like it's always empty. But I've actually slowed down doing that just because stuff gets sold like the moment I list it, so it's just really hard to actually post stuff. So instead I let the stock kind of like empty out a bit, and then I run a big sale where I can like turn the shop off for a little bit and just add a bunch of stuff. That's actually going to be coming up soon. I've got a sale coming up later in October. Christopher Allington asks, I'd like to know if you'd share some of your favorite under the radar finds. Sure. So even though this was a fairly recent video, actually I think it was literally my last video, I'd call these pretty under the radar. These are all smoky quartz crystals, just clusters of so many. And I know most people are probably interested in big, like single big crystals, but man, I don't know, there's something about these baby clusters that just excites me way more. Another one actually will be coming up in a future video very soon is this stuff right here, which is actually red velvet calcite. See how it's like shiny? It shimmers. That's because it actually forms in thin little layers of fibrous calcite, and I love this stuff, and I've never seen it anywhere else. But actually, one of my all-time favorite oddball finds is this thing right here. I found this in tailings at a silver mine, and it's just so cool. It's so bizarre. No, it is not agate. It is like chevron quartz. It's so cool. I don't know why, but I love this so much. So next, is it Beto J Designs or Betoge Designs? Anyway though, where and when did you and Alexis first meet? Did Alexis like rocks before you started a YouTube channel, or did that rub off from you? I'll answer the second one first. Actually, she was the one who encouraged me to get that little sift your own gem bag. So she has an interest in rocks. So yeah, she was like already into rocks. Not like super into rocks, but yeah, she was the one who kind of convinced me to get that little sift your own gem bag, and I'm sure she had no idea what that was gonna lead to. And me and Alexis first met sophomore year of high school. We are actually 11-year high school sweethearts. And yeah, we just sat next to each other, decided we liked each other, and the rest is history. Donna Lance asks, would you be willing to take other people besides YouTubers on a hunt, like a guided tour? I saw this question a lot, and I get this question a lot, and honestly, no, not really. And I don't mean that like as an offense thing whatsoever. It's more of the amount of people that ask, like I just don't, there's no way I'd be able to do it from a time standpoint. Like I get a lot of requests for this, and it's not like I'm just taking, I don't think Donna meant this with her comment, but it's not like I'm just going out with YouTubers because, you know, YouTubers, we're doing stuff for our channel. Like everyone I make a video with on a hunt is a friend of mine. So I don't know, hunting for me is where I go to get away. That's like my R&R, like either alone time or time to just hang out with Alexis or friends that I don't get to see super often, like in Florida. So it's kind of a meditative time for me. I like being alone when I'm hunting, and I'm sure it doesn't come off in my videos, but I'm also very shy. I'm a very shy person. So I don't know how I would handle that. But I think maybe scheduling like, you know, meetup kind of situation where like you get a bunch of people together and go on a hunt together then would probably be something I would definitely be into. Me and Katie did that once, and it was a lot of fun. So I think if we could like get enough advance warning, just like let everyone know, you know, ahead of time to be in Montana at this date, then we could go on a giant like group rock hunt. But private paid tours, I don't think is something I would ever really do. Dana Kavanaugh asks, how did I start rock hounding? Well, I guess I kind of answered that one already. If you could rock hound anywhere in the world other than the places you've already been, where would it be? Probably Australia, New Zealand, and Brazil. Donna Bowden asks, if you cut into the blue agate and find iris, would the blue affect how you see the colors? I think if it was a true blue, it probably would, but I'm not convinced that this is actually a true blue. Let me show you what I mean. So there's two types that you will see. You have ones like big agates like this that have a blue tone. This one won't show because it's dry, but then you have agates like these. These are true blues, is what I call them. This is blue chalcedony. Actually, these ones are agates because they've got bands. But a lot of time with bigger Montana agates like this one, the blue color is actually a result of what is known as the Tyndall effect. And the Tyndall effect is basically like the depth of the rock is actually what's creating that blue color. If you make thin slices, it will be clear or white or milky. it won't actually have that blue in the slab. But it could be a true blue. I don't know yet. Just usually with big agates like this, it's 10 to Fallen Star, I think I pronounced that right. I was actually wondering about baculites. Can you polish them to bring out the colors the same way you do with ammonites? You sure can. Typically speaking, baculites in general just have less color. This one has a little bit of kind of rainbowy stuff that I doubt the camera will pick it up. Baculites just tend to have less color in their nacre, just in general. But that being said, you can find pieces that have those nice greens and reds. Man, my camera does not like ammonite. Well, you can kind of see them. And yeah, if you polish those normally, you will get some very, very, very pretty results. And that shell layer is so soft, you just need sandpaper. Alan Walker asks a great question. If you could only have 5 tools total for crafting, shaping, cutting, polishing, etc., no more than 5, which tools would you choose and why? That would have to be flex shaft for carving and polishing a huge variety of stuff. Air scribe for fossils and gems and minerals, as I've learned recently. A saw is a requirement. Doesn't have to be big. You don't need a slab saw, but a trim saw is a requirement. A torch for silversmithing. And hot take number 5, faceting machine. And I say faceting machine over flat lap because you can use a faceting machine as a flat lap, but you cannot facet on a flat lap. So yeah, my top 5 tools would be air scribe, flex shaft, trim saw, torch, faceting machine. Jake D asks, how do I find good areas to rock and mineral hunt? There are many answers to this question. The best way is research. And like the way I find spots is I will study geologic formation maps to find out where the best stuff that I specifically am targeting are going to be. I will then cross-reference those with just public land maps like BLM and Trust Land and that kind of stuff to find out where you can actually go. Looking up laws on like for example the Yellowstone. In Montana we have what's called the navigable waterways, which means so long as you access the river legally and stay within, I think it's like, I don't remember, a certain distance within the high water mark, you can legally walk all the way. You could literally walk from the headwaters all the way down to where it dumps into the Missouri and be legal and not trespassing thanks to the navigable waterways. There's Rocked is a fantastic app. Same with what's it called? Onyx actually shows you like land ownership. MindDat would be just it's an amazing tool when it comes to figuring out what the heck is in your area. But a lot of reading. There's a lot of research that goes into finding good spots. Maximilian asks, what is a place in the US you would love to rockhound you just haven't visited yet? Oregon would be up that list. Maybe Arkansas, just because I think it would be fun to find like a big quartz point. Man, there's so many places. Really, really, really want to go to, can't remember if it's North or South Carolina, but where all the megs are. That. Speaking of Oregon, Lady Nightshade asks, have you ever actually met up with or considered meeting up with World of Rock Hounds to go hounding in Oregon? I have not actually met up with him in person, but I'm hoping next summer that I can meet up with, we're hoping to do a trip over there next year, and I would love to go hounding with Kyle and Karen, Ozone Fine Art Ventures. Allison Flynn asks, how did you start to learn how to identify rock? Honestly, pictures, and just reading and going to rock shops and studying and just, yeah, like a lot of hands-on. I don't know, I'm a visual learner, so going to places where I can see examples in front of me, it helps me train my eye. Books actually are not great when it comes to learning how to ID rocks, and I say that because you've got stuff like, let me see, like that. They're beautiful, they're amazing, they're also top grade. That. Most people aren't going to be finding that. So yeah, in books you tend to have pictures of like the high grade, like museum grade specimens, which you probably aren't going to be finding in the field on your first outing. So rock shops, online, like, yeah, that's the best way to do it for me anyway. It was. Lycandalia or Lycandalia? Do you ever sell cut rocks? I do sometimes. Problem is I don't have anything bigger than a trim saw at the moment. So all of my cut rocks are stuff that I've taken up to Kim's, so I don't have a whole lot of like cut specimens. And usually when I'm going over there, those are like my rocks that I want cut. But once that thing is up and running, yes, I will definitely be selling more cut and polished rocks. James Bondo asks, how thick or thin do you need to make the slabs of agate to be able to see if they're iris? The rule of thumb is 3 to 5 millimeters. Sometimes it needs to be thinner, sometimes that's plenty. It's weird. Generally speaking, when you cut it, even if it's like 6 or 7 mil, if it's a good iris, you'll know. There's like a little bit of a pastel-y shimmer inside, and that's hard to describe. And I don't have any like unpolished specimens to show. But once you see that little bit of pastel like flash, you thin those slabs down. And generally speaking, the thinner you go, the brighter the color. Really, really nice pieces you can get away with like 4 or 5 millimeters. Some pieces need some more coaxing. Like parallax can turn into iris, but they need to be really, really thin, like a millimeter. So those take a little bit more thinning. But generally you'll know right after the saw, but the rule of thumb again is 3 to 5 millimeters. Cindy Heimdahl asks, what beach would you recommend for a newbie to look at? Whatever beach is closest that you can legally go onto. I'm actually not a good person to ask when it comes to beach hunting. I do a lot of shelling, but I don't do any rock hunting on beaches. It's mainly just the Yellowstone, and river deposits are a very different beast from coastline deposits. So I would highly recommend you go check out Ozone Fine Art Ventures, because that's what she does, and she finds wonderful stuff. And could probably help you with that question better than I could. Nicola Gray, New Zealand Rockhound, asks, I'd really love to see some of your tumbled stones. Okay. Here's just a random handful of some of my tumbled stones. Generally speaking, most of my rocks I tumble for for lack of a better term, windowing, for later cabbing, see how good they are. But sometimes I get some weird specimens that I want to tumble, like this piece of petrified wood. Look at how weird the grain is on the other side. It just goes crazy. Sometimes I throw some that I like in there, but most of the time it's just windowing for cabs at a later date. Honestly though, most of the time when I'm tumbling slabs. Just because it is so much faster to just cut a bunch of rocks and throw them all in the rock tumbler, let them do their work, then polish these, one by one, individually on both sides. Grant Fallman asks, as a dog guy myself, I have to ask, being as you have 3 of them, what are the ages of these fur babies? So I actually have 4. And okay, so let's see. Molly is 12 or 13. Floyd is 11 or 12. Don't remember which. I know when we got him, but I don't want to do that math in my head right now. Cyrus is 9 and Dante is 3. Username unimportant. Not to me, you're not. How would you go about cutting and polishing large stones on a budget? 4 words. Variable speed angle grinder. Is it ideal? Definitely not. You want a slab saw or some way to cut bigger rocks other than this, but if you don't have access in any way to a slab saw, you can buy these, which are just straight up diamond saw blades that you can attach onto an angle grinder, cut around, and then put a little chisel in there, split them apart, and you can actually come back with this to kind of clean up the little center bit that doesn't get touched. Then you can swap to your Velcro polishing pads and polish it all the way up from there. Is it ideal? No, but it's definitely doable. That and a variable speed angle grinder costs a literal fraction of the amount it would cost you to buy a slab saw. HD Shovel Ed asks, is the banded shirt a localized thing or can it be found worldwide? I am pretty sure banded shirt is like all over the US at least. I don't know about the rest of the world, but I know banded shirt is a very, very prevalent thing. Michelle Waldvogel. Wow, my tongue does not want to say that name. This is actually the 3rd take. Anyway, when did you start faceting gems and minerals? Let's see. So I got my faceting machine was the first tool in my shop. So, but I didn't actually start faceting for a while because I didn't know how it worked and no one ever taught me. So I kind of just had to, as I say all the time, fail forward until I figured it out. So I've been faceting probably 6 years, maybe. I'd say probably more like 4, where I actually had any idea what I was doing. Justin Nugent, would the 2 of you ever road trip to South California to rockhound and see the sights? Yes, actually, absolutely. A friend who sent me a box filled with amazing goodies, which will be a video very soon, lives in California, and I would love to go out and visit him and go rock hunting. Because there's, I mean, they've got the Hauser beds and stuff like that. There's just so much. Like, Derek, for example, went to California to do some hounding and got crazy fossils and tourmaline. Like, it was awesome. I'm definitely on my radar. Also, that friend I mentioned is Sweet Jim. If you watch Lapidary Dave, you know who Sweet Jim is. Everyone go subscribe to J&S Rocks to Gems. Agate sound. How do you tell the difference between jasper and chert? So if we want to get technical, chalcedony, agate, jasper, and chert are all the same thing. My understanding, and I could be wrong, but my understanding of what makes the difference between jasper and chert is color. So I just looked it up to make sure that I wasn't spreading misinformation, and I am right. Chert is a actual classification, whereas jasper is actually a jeweler / lapidary vague term to describe higher grade chert. Annie Jerome, can you cut any of the black tourmaline you found? Yes. So a lot of it is fairly decayed, but we have definitely found some really nice pieces that are totally cuttable. Like this one is really nice and stable. Corvine Arts asks, what is your process for cleaning rocks after a hunt? I believe simple is best, usually. I have a few different methods of cleaning. It depends on what we were hunting for. So for example, Yellowstone, toothbrush and Dawn dish soap works wonders. Fossils can be prone to fall apart, so I usually will not clean them until they're at least semi-prepped or stabilized. Quartz or crystal specimens, usually I throw into iron out. CCC Carrie McCarty asks, how and where do you store your rock treasures? Can you show us? Yes, but not today. I'm actually doing a shop tour very soon. Toby McCobb asks, do you have any tips on how to get better at IDing gems and minerals? I touched on this a little earlier, but honestly, best way is to see them firsthand. Like, just even if you have no intention of buying, go to some rock shops. That's a great way to see them in person. Other than that, it's research. Paul Coe asks, how do you go about looking for areas to hunt? Websites, Google Earth, etc. Yes, is the answer to that question. Lots of geologic maps. Google Earth is awesome for learning where the best bars, like big wide bars on the river are. And you just have to kind of figure out where you can access it legally, which again, you cross-reference with those maps. Isaac Brown, is there anyone in the world of rockhounding or similar field that you look up to? Probably not when it comes to, like, you know, scientists and stuff like that, or like discoverers, but I have definitely role models and people that I look up to in the more YouTube framed aspect of things, like Rookie, for example. Rookie's my boy. I will always look up to Rookie, and actually, we just got done doing like 5 videos together. Derek the Rockmaster, dude. I look up to that guy like crazy. Audra Acklin asks, where could I purchase some of these beauties? On my shop, but it's pretty barren at the moment because I'm getting ready for a sale. And speaking of the shop, Purple Craft Shack asks, are you putting some of these in your shop? Probably, most likely, when the sale comes around later this month. I'm totally not gonna pronounce this right, and I'm sorry. Graham Row 55, what is the prettiest rock mineral you've ever found? Oh gosh, that's hard. I'm super partial, and it's probably gonna show, but honestly, iris agate would be way up there. And I'm a sucker for blue and purple, so these two right here, this one especially. The lighting is not gonna do it justice, but this is actually a purple Montana agate. But honestly, this probably won't come as a surprise to most of you, but probably have to give that spot to Amylite. This stuff is magical. Terry Halswell asks, what is the name of your other channel? My second channel is Sticks and Stones. Again, there will be a link to that in the description of every video. Gonna say this name wrong probably. Seal Collins, I'm curious if this is your main job or if you have another job on top of YouTube Etsy. Nope, this is what I do full time. Tina Edmondson, are you and Alexis going to get married? Yes. Technically we are already by Montana common law marriage because we have been together long enough and lived in the same household. So technically we are, but we don't like acknowledging that. It's not like and the only reason we haven't yet, it's not like we're not into labels thing. It's like, I don't agree with the mindset that your wedding that's for your, you know, to please everyone else. It's like, no, that's our day. So we're both content to just wait until we can make that day perfect. Alice in Mineral Land asks, I'm rescuing a puppy and want it to have a geology related name. Any suggestions? I have a suggestion. You may have noticed with my dogs that I'm a firm believer that all pets should have human names. But there is a geology term that is also a human name. So depending on what gender your dog is, if it's a boy, my suggestion is Craig. A crag is a rocky hill or mountain. Jeanette Johnson asks, are the places you go rock hunting easy to get to and on public land? Yes and no. Some of them are absolutely easy to get to. Most of them are on public land. A lot of them, though, are not very easy to get to at all. Which is why I like going there, because less people are crazy enough to do the legwork required to go to those places, which I like. But I also do have some sites that are private access that I have permission to go to. Jess the Mess asks, what is your #1 favorite rock you've ever found? I think we touched on that earlier. And one you have bought. This is one of my favorite rocks I've ever purchased. This is a specimen of amphibole quartz. And I love it. It's so pretty. That pink is actually lithium. Kinda sorta asks, can you give the information for the fossil prepping tool you use? It is a Chicago pneumatic air scribe. Air scribes are amazing and wonderful, and they can be used for far more than just fossils. I've used them to prep quartz specimens, minerals, like they're just amazing, amazing, amazing. Mary DeJohn, the next time you're in Florida, I would love it if you could come talk to our Gem and Mineral Club. We are in the Daytona area. Oh, that'd be awesome. I would probably be up for that. Because Daytona is where we go every single time we go to Florida. So that's local to where I stay in Florida. I'm just now wondering if I have this down as a typo and forgot the T, or if this is correct. But it's either Caitlin Olsen or Kaylin Olsen. I'm sorry. That shouldn't be a name that I messed up, but I still managed. Where did you get your spray bottle and what brand is it? I actually don't remember what brand it is off the top of my head. It was a gift from the illustrious and wonderful Montana Rock Mob. Username I made up to ask myself a question. What older video series do you plan on bringing back? Well, that's a great question, username I made up to ask myself a question. I actually planning on revisiting some of my older videos just because I think they're horrible and there's subject matter in there that is worth redoing. But one series in particular that I'm planning on bringing back is my Carving Tips and Tricks series. I had like 2 or 3 episodes in that, and I feel like it's worth bringing back. So look forward to those coming soon. Sandra Lane asks, how do you decide which way to cut the rocks? Or is it just hope and cut? Honestly, it's a little of planning and a whole lot of hope and cut. Most of the time, a rock will tell you how it wants to be cut. Like this, for example. Montana agates, you usually want to cut parallel to the banding so that you capture it best. So this one, nice banded open pocket like that. I'm gonna come in like that so that I can level the face. You've got pieces like this, which is also a Montana agate, but it's also so dark that you can't really see any banding on the surface. There's some that I can see on the surface, but it's one of those really nice dark agates. So there's no real way to plan for something like this. Oliver the Curious Cat, nice, asks, what was the first rock item that started your collection? The very first one be this right here. This agate right here, which you may notice is not river tumbled because I found it in a field, but it is a Montana agate. Yep, found this one when my sister was riding a horse when I was like 6 or 7 years old. Original Auburn asks, what is the difference between a TSA, Treasure State agate, or Montana agate? Montana agates are transparent to translucent, but not always. Banded dendritic agates found anywhere in the Yellowstone River Basin. A Treasure State agate is any fortification agate, opaque fortification agate found in the Yellowstone. All right, guys, well, we got through all of the questions. So, the time has come. Let me show you the giveaway. All of these are my private stash rocks. So let's take a look at what you're winning. A fantastic specimen of druzy-coated, calcite, crystal-filled, another specimen of black druzy-filled Bear Canyon agate. A beautiful, plumy, one of the coolest little specimens of jasper I've ever seen. Look at how beautiful that is. This beautiful and very busy jasper. One beautiful piece of agatized wood, another beautiful piece of agatized wood, and another beautiful piece of agatized wood. This amazing agate, fantastic banded mossy beauty, dark mossy waterline agate, this prime cutter Montana agate, South Dakota
chalcedony, this here baculite, this cut Montana agate, this Montana agate slab, this Montana agate slab, outstanding dark Montana agate slab. These I do not part with lightly, because they were a gift from the Rockmaster himself, but I'm willing to part with some for you guys. Agatized coral and agatized coral. This calcite crystal cluster, this smoky quartz cluster, this beautiful pearl polished freshwater mussel from the Yellowstone, this piece of amylite, this amylite cabochon, this Montana agate cabochon, this treasure state agate, this iris agate, and this iris agate. All of this is going to one lucky person. So, without further ado, let's just find out who it is. The winner is... oh no, go away. Nikki Who. Everyone give a round of applause to Nikki Who. And Nikki, my email is in the About Me section of my channel, so just get a hold of me through there. I'm also on Instagram, so if you have Instagram, you can message me through that as well. But yes, get a hold of me, and we will get this giant pile of rocks sent out to you. Again, thank you guys so much. Like, I honestly cannot put into words how much the continued support and all of the very, very generous comments from that last video, it touches the heart and humbles every day. And I can't put into words how much I appreciate all of you, every single one of you. I just wish I could have given a giveaway to more people, which is why we're doing another one. The winner of this giveaway will receive this amazing jasper, this fantastic specimen of agatized wood, this cut specimen of agatized wood, this little quality cutting grade Montana agate, this slightly bigger cutting quality Montana agate, this big old waterline Montana agate, fantastic selenite crystal, this Montana agate slab, this lightning well, this Floridian calcite clam, Bear Canyon agate with amethyst, this chalcedony rose from South Dakota, this iris agate slab, and this Montana agate cabochon. And the winner is Elaine Malott. I think that's how you pronounce that, right? So, same thing. You can find my email in the About Me section of my channel. Congratulations. And again, as a reminder, you're getting all of these. All right, guys. Well, again, thank you all so much for being here for the journey. I have no plans of stopping or slowing down, so it'll be fun to see where the next year takes us. I have some really cool projects in the works, some hunts that are going to be coming out very soon, like next week after that. Oh my gosh, cannot wait to share those with you guys. It's a hunt I've been wanting to do for a very long time, so I cannot wait to show you all that one. Leave a big congrats in the comments to our giveaway winners, plural. I'll have links to various stuffs up in the description. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Again, now is a good time because we've got some really awesome hunts coming very, very soon. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you all so much, and I will see you next time.